Hey, how's it going out there, everybody? Hope everybody's having a great day. Welcome to the channel. I'm your host, Cash, and this is Weekly Recap. Weekly Recap is me going over my week as a semi-truck driver operating in the United States, and I'm going to tell you all about the week. I'm going to tell you the loads I've done, why I've done them, all that stuff. Some things I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to tell you the carrier I'm leased on to. You got to do that research, find your own carrier. I don't talk about my taxes because it's so different. I don't talk about my truck payment. I don't talk about my insurances. All that is you. You go find all that out. Weekly recap is not me telling you my entire life story, my business, my life, my everything. Okay. Weekly recap is for me to put out the numbers that I generate as a point of reference. You do not want to use this as the gospel. You want to find multiple people that give reliable information and build your business off of those numbers, including mine. And the reason I started all this like 5 years ago is because there wasn't a lot of people doing this 5 years ago. A lot more of it now, but I keep doing it because, people find it useful and they tell me, so I keep doing it. But let's talk about it. I'm going to go over the week. I'm going to talk about the loads I done, why I done them, that type of thing. I live in Minnesota. I like to go Minnesota out and back, preferably go home for a few days, rinse and repeat. It's not really an adventure for me anymore. Trucking is a job. So occasionally I have a big week. This was a really big week for me. I know some of you guys put in 4,000 miles a week. It's just not for me. Okay. By the time I plan out everything and I become really efficient, these big weeks take a lot. This was almost 3,500 miles. And I know some of you are thinking that's no big deal. Well, if you're running, contract, drop and hook, big mega carrier, it's not a lot of miles. But for me, having to plan everything out and make it efficient, I'm not out here to just run miles to run miles. I want efficient miles. But once or twice, once a quarter or twice a quarter, I like a really big week like this, just to get on top of the bills. Get ahead a little bit. So, makes up for those weeks where I don't, make enough to cover my salary and all my bills and everything. So, big weeks like this are nice, but just know this ain't an every week thing. Okay, I'm not here to glorify being an owner operator in any way. If you want to be an owner operator, just know that not only is it operating a semi truck, but it's also running a business. And that's a big part most people miss. Okay. Oh, I want to be an owner operator. I want all the responsibility. And then you get it and you're like, no, I don't. I want to half ass this and make the same amount of money I would as if I was just working for a good company. And that's the thing. Not everybody needs to be an owner operator. There's no shame in working for a good company. For me, I like being an owner operator. I sacrifice certain things to be an owner operator. And that's where I'm at. Okay. So I just want to make that real clear. Not everybody has to be an owner operator to be successful. There's lots of people working for lots of good companies that are making more money with benefits and everything than I do. It's just, it's a give and take in my world. With that out of the way, let's get to it. So I started out in Minnesota, got a call, got a one pick, two drop, dropping in Arkansas and Mississippi. That load was 1,153 loaded miles, negative 10, 30,000 pounds, and that load paid 37.50. And then I came down after that load. I got an overnight run right after that, literally 10-hour break, loaded, gone. Um, Again, like I said, this is not the type of week I'm not going to do this every week. These overnight runs and these just, minimum, break and then gone again. But the money's nice. Like I say, once or twice a quarter, just to kind of bump the numbers up a little bit. So the next load coming right out of Mississippi on an overnight run, Mississippi up to Missouri, 81 empty miles, 625 loaded miles, 706 miles up through the woods hauling that mail. Come on. I mean, it wasn't mail, but I was hauling it. 26 degrees, 40,000 pounds. That load paid $1,400 coming up out of Mississippi. And that load took me over to Missouri. Then we bounced to Oklahoma, 146 empty miles to pick up another overnight run, 603 loaded miles on that one, 749 total miles, again $1,400 on that one, 36 degrees, 43,000 pounds. I thought it was a little heavier than that. I scaled it, but it was about 43,000. It felt like I was pulling the world behind this truck. I mean, it just felt heavy for some reason. It was liquid, I guess, is one of the reasons. When you get that, it was like liquid in big like gallon jugs. And I guess the bigger the jug, the more you can feel that sloshing around in there. There's more room in there. Whatever. Um, that load took me over to Illinois, and then we come out of Illinois on a good multi-stop. I really wanted to go home from there, but then they called me with this one, and I was like, whoo, and it's a round trip, baby. Of course, the whole round trip didn't make it on this week, so, we got the first part of it in, but the rest will be on next week. So, the first part of it was the outbound. It was Illinois to Maryland, another Maryland, and then a PA. And that load was 803 all-in miles, -10, 11,000 pounds, $3,800 at camo. We like them when they're like that. We like them when they pay good and they lightweight and they come off quick. So, um, there was a snowstorm coming on that load, and I got real lucky. I got the two Marylands off like early. Like I literally picked that up, trucked it all the way to Maryland, got them stops off, and then got up to PA, and then the snow came through, and I sat there while the snow went through, and then I went and got unloaded after the snow. So, um, the receivers on that one were amazing to me for that. To get two stops off, like almost a full day early, can't beat that. Can't beat that. So, wouldn't mind doing that load again. I don't know if that's like an every week thing or an ever whatever thing, but catch me on that one for sure. Catch me on that one, especially considering that I didn't make it on this week. But that load actually had a return load that brought me back to Illinois. So now I didn't pay as good coming back, but I didn't have to, worry about a load coming back. When I booked that one, they were like, hey, do you want the return load to go with it? And I was like, well, heck yeah, I do. Get me out of Pennsylvania with a little money? I'll do that. I'll do that. So that was a week, big ass week. I tore it down this week. For me being as soft as I am, hell, it's like 2 weeks for me. But good week though. Good week. Let's recap it. Minnesota down to Arkansas, down to Mississippi, Mississippi back up to Missouri, Missouri over to Oklahoma, Oklahoma to Illinois, Illinois to Maryland, and then bounced up to PA. So, hell of a week for me. Good money though. That's the key to this. I would not do this if it were not good money. Like I said, I was ready to go home, and then they called and said, hey, you want to do this? I said, well, yeah, that's good money, and I did just leave out like 5-6 days ago. Let's go make that money. And then the fact that with the snow, I know why it was paying good, basically because the snowstorm was coming. So for me to be able to rush out there, get it off, and then not have to deal with the snowstorm, and then just sit there, let the snow go by. Went up, got the reload, came back, worked out well. Worked out well. That's all I can say. Total gross revenue for the week, $10,350 through $10,350 on the total. 80% of that is $8,280. And the way I look at that, a lot of people say, well, you shouldn't say the gross total because you didn't make that. No, me and my carrier made that together as a team. Okay. If it were not for me, they wouldn't have made it. And if not for them, I wouldn't have made it. That's how you got to look at your carrier and the money, is because it's a partnership. If you start looking at it as in that's my money and they're taking part of it, well, you're looking at it all wrong. And if your carrier's looking at that like that's my money and they're getting a part of it, they're looking at it all wrong. I'm very picky about that. We have to be a team, or I don't want to be there. You're not going to be my boss. You're not going to be my dad. I had a good dad. God rest his soul. But I had a good one. I don't need another one. I'm a grown ass man. So that's how I look at that. Now, 10,350 together is what we made. My 80%, 8280. Man, is that a lick. I can do something with that. So all miles for the week, 3,439 miles for the week on multi-stop freight. Oh my God, let me cry about it. Let me cry about it some more. I try not to be too much of a crybaby, but that is a big week for me. I mean, it just is. It's above average, I should say. I do these occasionally. It's above average. Most of the time when I do something like this, it's coming out of home time. When I got a fresh clock, I don't have to worry about hours. I can just bam, 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 go. 303 empty miles on that, 3136 loaded miles. That puts me in at a 9% deadhead, which is very good. That is $3.01 all mile. Every mile this truck turned was 301 a mile. My 80% was $2.41 on an 80% percentage. 330 for loaded miles, just to give you an idea where we're at in the market for loaded miles. Now, this is kind of skewed a little bit because there was two good paying multi-stop loads out of this. So it was basically out of a good area into a bad area, had to bounce over to another bad area to get a load that was going back to a good area, and then finish the week on a good area run. So that's why the week is so good, and that's why I say it's very tough to do this every week, week in and week out, because starting a week on a good multi-stop load and finishing the week on a good multi-stop load normally does not happen. It's just I just happen to get in the right areas, so that's the way it was. Let's go over to variable cost. The variable cost of the week. I spent $13.75 on diesel. Now, if you're spending too much on diesel, you stick around to the end of this video. I got some information for you at the end of this video. You're gonna want to hear it. I promise you. Heard a guy the other day say, "Well, I buy all my fuel at Sheets because it's 30 cents cheaper than the TA." Okay, but have you ever thought about a discount card, buddy? Like Mudflap, ES Advantage, something like that. I'm just saying. I threw it out there. Here's my promo code. You know me. I'm a natural born promoter, salesman here. But yeah, I mean, even if you're getting it at Sheets or wherever it's cheaper, get you a discount card, get discounts on top of that. Come on. But anyway, $13.75 I spent on diesel. Truck's been doing pretty good. Been like in the mid to upper 7 miles per gallon this winter. Pretty happy with that. I did idle the truck for a couple nights, and that'll be on future weeks. That was just recently here. And let you know, this is from the very beginning of February this week here. Sorry, I should have said that at the beginning. But this is from the end of January into the first couple days of February. This is. So, February's been a cold month, let me tell you. $13.75 on diesel. I'll get around to it eventually. $13.75 on diesel. $2.44 on reefer fuel. $51 on DEF fluids. $17 on tolls. I did set the GPS to go around the tolls when I went in to Illinois, because I really didn't have to go into Chicago, just kind of skimmed along the bottom. So $17 in tolls there. $14 on the CAT scale. I did scale that liquid load because, like I said, it felt like it weighed as much as the earth. And then 0 on parking for the week. Come on. $17.01 in variable cost. $17.01. Bring over my 8,280. My 80%. 8,280 minus 17.01 variable cost leaves me $6,579 left to do what I have to do with. And that's how I finished up the week, folks, right there. Now, I will start off the next week in Pennsylvania on a backhaul, so keep that in mind. Like I said, I'm not here to bum you out or glorify owner operating or any of that. These are just the numbers. They are what they are. I don't lie. I wouldn't make this stuff up. Why would I? I don't care what people think of me. I mean, I've been grinding out YouTube for 5 years now, and I ain't even got 30,000 subscribers. So obviously, I'm not willing to sell out and just tell you a bunch of bullshit to get a bunch of subscribers. But hey, if you want to subscribe, think about it. Just saying. I'm out of here, guys. Thanks everybody for watching. I much appreciate you watching. If you made it this far, smash that like button for me. I do appreciate that. I appreciate everybody watching. Take care of each other out there, and remember, people are more important than trucking. Hi, I want to talk to you real quick about the ES Advantage card. Do you need discounts at major truck stop chains? They got them. Do you need discount on shop rates at TA and Love's? They got them. Tire discounts. They even got health insurance now. Click the link down below. Easy application, no credit check. Sign up. They give you a call back. They'll take all your information and you'll be in the network.